Now for my seat, I'm going to use a blanket and I'm folding it and I'm going to sit right on the edge of it. So my knees are off the blanket and it's just my sit bones that are on the edge of the blanket, and it gives me this tilt forward. So my knees are a little lower than my hips. Okay. So this is if you're sitting on the floor. If you're finding a seat on your chair, just bring the legs straight in front of you and plant your feet. So make yourself feel grounded, feeling the floor or under the soles of the feet or the contact of the mat with your shins and maybe with your thighs, your sit bones planted on your blanket or on your chair. And then just working on your alignment, trying to bring your shoulders straight over your hips and resting your hands on your thighs. And if it works for you, once you feel comfortable in your seat, you might close your eyes. And then let's just find a breath. So thinking about fresh air arriving into the body and renewing that air that's in the lungs. So emptying as much as you can those lungs on your exhales. So when we breathe shallow, there's usually a volume of air that remains in those lungs that doesn't get renewed, that becomes stagnant and unused. So see if you can mobilize that stagnant air in the lungs by really breathing deeply and exhaling as much as you can. So let that exhale lengthen, even pause at the end of the exhale, see if there's any little bit more of air that you could let out. And then allow your inhale to really reach every little corner in the lungs, to fill those lungs completely. And then again, looking for that efficient renewal of air in the lungs as you breathe out. And don't make this too stressful, so it's not a competition of how fast you fill those lungs or empty them. Just take your time so you're not adding extra stress or tension to that breath. So within the chest, those lungs have space to expand. So you need to expand that chest and that rib cage to make space. And let's take another breath in. And breath out. And now just bring your awareness to the face and scan from the forehead to the space between the eyebrows, to the space around your eyes, to your cheeks, to your nostrils, to your lips, your tongue, and your chin. Soften any part of the body that right now could soften. And then let's begin to just find some gentle movement of that upper body. So we're just going to make some circles with that upper body. Hips stay stable. We'll bring that chest forward and then out to the left and then behind us and then to the right. And you could do this a few more times. Your circles can be bigger or smaller. And then you can switch direction. And just noticing Any sensations right now just with that movement? Keep your breath going, so no holding that breath. And let's do a few more circles, making sure you've got both directions. And then let's meet back at center, lifting that spine, crown of the head reaching tall, and then arms wide and all the way overhead. And on your exhale, arms wide and all the way down by your side. And then again, inhale and arms lift. Exhale, arms lower. One more time, inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. And now on your inhale, lift those arms, interlace your fingers, turn the palms towards the ceiling, get that stretch through the side body, full breath in. And then on your exhale, lower your right hand down and reach up and over with your left. Coming back through center, inhale, and switch sides, exhale. And center, inhale one more time, exhale. And center, inhale, and other side, exhale. And now let's come back through center. Let's find the awkward interlace of those fingers. Push those palms away again. Get that side body stretch, armpits. Full breath in here. And on your exhale, lower those arms down by your side. Let's bring those hands back to the thighs and inhale, lift your shoulders up by your ears. And on your exhale, just lower your right shoulder down. And inhale, lift that right shoulder. And left shoulder lowers. And lift, inhale. Right shoulder, exhale. And lift, inhale. And left shoulder, exhale. Now as you inhale, both shoulders lift. And on your exhale, release those shoulders down. Reach your arms wide all the way overhead. And on your exhale, we're going to make our way into table pose. So if you're on the floor, hands to the mat, knees under hips. If you're using your chair, use the seat of the chair. Plant your hands on the seat of the chair. So again, options. And give yourself options. And just because you used to do it a certain way, it doesn't mean that you have to always do it that way. So we're going to plant those hands and spread those fingers. Press through the ends of your fingers. Press through the base of your fingers. Tops of the feet to the mat. And let's just like kind of tap the tops of the feet on the mat a bit. That's if you're on the mat. If you're standing, you could lift and lower your heels. Just waken up those feet a bit. And then let's find some stillness, neutral spine, and with your next inhale, cow and cat. So chest forward, gaze up. Exhale to round the spine. 2 more. Inhale into your cow pose. Exhale, cat. And inhale, cow. And round, exhale. And let's find a neutral spine and reach the right leg out behind us. We'll bend that knee and we'll find some circles with that right hip. And again, options here. This rotation and the right hip can be in this table pose. You could do it standing at the chair. You could do it seated in the chair, bringing that knee in and using your arms to rotate the hip. And let's switch direction. And just noticing any sensations in this right hip. And now with your next inhale, let's straighten that leg out behind us and let's plant the ball of the foot. We're going to push the heel away here. And so you want to get that stretch through the back of your ankle, calf, back of your knee. Take a breath in and a breath out. On your inhale, right foot rises. And then on your exhale, knee to chest to round your spine. Inhale, lengthen. And now bring that knee to the outside of your right elbow. Inhale, lengthen. And now knee to your left elbow. Inhale, lengthen. And let's lower that knee back down. Exhale. Let's go to the left side. Remember to give your wrists a break anytime, coming onto your fists or coming onto your forearms. As you are ready, left leg rises. We'll bend that knee and we'll find those circles in the left hip. And then noticing if there are differences in sensation between hips. Get to know your left hip. And then let's switch direction. And taking it slow. So there's no rush. You don't have to do a certain number of circles. And now use your next inhale to reach that leg out behind you. And let's plant the ball of the foot on the exhale. And now noticing that ankle, calf, maybe back of the knee. Draw that lower belly up and in and spread your shoulder blades here. Find space in your neck. And then on your inhale, left leg rises. Knee to chest, rounding your spine. Exhale. Lengthen, inhale. And knee to the outside of your left elbow. Lengthen, inhale. And now knee crosses to your right elbow. Lengthen, inhale. And let's lower that knee back down, coming back into table pose. And giving your wrists a break here. So let's draw those sit bones towards the heel, so almost coming into child's pose. And then let's turn those fingers, draw them towards you, tops of the hands towards the mat. Counter pose for your wrists here. Imagine the tops of your wrists moving away from you. Take a breath in. And a breath out. And one more breath in. And breath out. And now as you inhale, let's come back to that table pose. Tuck your toes and find downward facing dog. Exhale. And here, try drawing the chin towards your chest. So really tucking that chin in. And see if you can find that space in the back of your neck. Try drawing your shoulder blades wide and towards your hips. And another breath in. And breath out. And then use your next inhale to walk your feet to your hands. And we'll meet in a forward fold. Exhale. Grabbing opposite elbows and finding some movement in your legs here. Take a breath in and bend into your right knee. Exhale. And then straighten that right knee. Bend into your left. Exhale. And straighten. Right knee bends. Exhale. And straighten. Left knee bends. Exhale. With your next inhale, slight bend in both knees, release those elbows and slowly make your way up to stand. Mountain pose, bring those shoulders up, release them down, turn your palms forward, maybe close your eyes for a moment if you feel steady, grounded, and just feel that lift, that mountain pose today. Take an inhale, exhale. And again, that visual of renewing that air in the lungs with each breath. With your next inhale, arms wide, lift them all the way overhead. And on your exhale, right arm down, side stretch. Back through center, inhale. Left arm down, side stretch. Center, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Again, half lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. And one more time, half lift, inhale. And on your exhale, hands plant, downward facing dog. Sit bones up and back, heels pressed down. Get that stretch from fingers all the way to tailbone. With your inhale, come out into a plank pose. And pause here. So you're pushing your heels away, feel strong. Imagine this is mountain pose. You're reaching the crown of the head away from your feet. You're spreading those shoulders. Take another full breath in. You're drawing that lower belly up and in on your exhale. And one more breath in. And on your exhale, downward facing dog. Push the floor away. Full breath in here. And exhale, coming into table pose. And again, remember, knees can be on the mat or you could use your chair. Hands are under your shoulders, and on your inhale, cow pose, chest forward, gaze up. Exhale into cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Let's find a neutral spine and reach the right arm out to the side and then up towards the ceiling on the inhale. And on your exhale, thread that arm, reach to your left. Open, inhale. Thread, exhale. And open, inhale. And thread, exhale. And now as you inhale, open. And come back to table pose, exhale, switch. Left arm, inhale, opens. Exhale, thread. And again, inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And open, inhale. And back to table pose, exhale. We're going to keep the knees bent, and we're going to do similar thing now with the legs. So right knee is going to open and lift, inhale, and exhale to lower. And open, inhale, and exhale, lower. And open, inhale, exhale, lower. And now's the tricky one. Inhale, open, straighten the leg, and then plant that foot. So we're aligning, so we're bringing that right leg out to the side, and we're aligning the arch of the right foot with the left knee. Okay? Keeping the left hand on the mat. On your inhale, your right arm reaches out and up. So similar thing to the thread the needle, but we've got the leg out. So right arm thread, reach to your left. And then again, open, inhale. Thread, exhale. One more time, inhale. And thread, exhale. And now on your inhale, open. And lower that right hand down, exhale. We're going to lift that right foot. Inhale, see if you can keep the legs straight. And then on your exhale, send it all the way back behind you. And then come back into table pose, knee down. And let's take some circles with those hips, a little free movement here. If your wrists are getting tired, come onto the fists. Give them a little break. Shift the hips from side to side. You could come forward and back also as if you were coming into child's pose. And if you're doing circles, then make sure you switch direction. And then as you are ready, let's come back to our table pose, and we'll do the same thing now on the left side. So planting your hands, keeping that left knee bent, and we're going to open that left knee out and up. And then exhale, lower. And inhale, open. Exhale, lower. Inhale, open. Try to use that outer hip. Exhale, lower. And the tricky one. Inhale, open. Straighten that leg out. Toes are pointing forward. And then lower that foot down. We're planting that left foot. Left leg is long. Arch and knee aligned. When you are ready, left arm reaches out and then up towards the ceiling. On your exhale, left arm threads, reach to the right. Again, open, inhale. Thread, exhale. Inhale, open. And exhale, thread. On your inhale, let's open. And let's lower that hand down, exhale. Okay, concentrate on that left leg. Keep that lower belly engaged. Lift that left foot, inhale. And on your exhale, send it out behind you. And then lower that knee back down into table pose. Let's counter pose for the wrist. So again, same thing that we did before. Sit bones towards your heels. And then just turn your fingers, point them towards you. Tops of the hands towards the mat. Tops of the wrists moving away from you. And don't overdo it here. It's easy to put extra or too much weight into those wrists in this position, and it can be a bit intense. So just be cautious. Take a breath in and a breath out. And with your next inhale, let's come back through table pose, tucking those toes, and make your way into downward facing dog. And in your downward facing dog, see if you can put more weight into your legs than in your shoulders and hands. Okay, so you're really sending those sit bones up and back, and you're trying to push the floor away with your hands, so you're not dropping into those hands. Take another breath in, breath out, and one more breath in, and breath out. Walking those feet towards your hands, inhale, and meeting in a forward fold, exhale. Grab opposite elbows, let's find the backs of the legs once again. So at your pace, bending and straightening. If you do one at a time, you can get that extra stretch in the leg that's extended. Feel that hamstring, the back of the knee. Notice differences between sides once again. And then once you come back through center, keep that slight bend in your knees, release your elbows, and slowly make your way up to stand. Arriving in mountain pose, shoulders down, crown of the head reaching up. Feel grounded through your feet. And again, if closing the eyes is available, you could do that. Just feel the posture, the lift. Take another breath in and breath out. And then let's inhale those arms all the way up overhead. Side stretch, right arm down. And back through center, inhale. Other side, exhale. And center, inhale. And let's bring those hands behind us. Let's interlace those fingers, straighten those elbows, open the chest here, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Take a full breath in and full breath out. And one more breath in. And breath out. And now releasing those hands, reach those arms up. And on your exhale, right hand around the left wrist and side stretch. A little bit more intense here. Press through the left foot. And come back through center, switching your wrists and other side. And then back through center, and then lowering those hands. Use your next inhale to reach your arms wide and all the way overhead. And as you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, plant your hands, downward facing dog. Breathe in. And breathe out. And another breath in. And on your exhale, table pose. Hands coming under the shoulders. And we're going to go into a bit of a variation of that sequence we did before with the knee bent and opening. Okay, so with your next inhale, open that right knee out and up. And on your exhale, lower. And inhale, open. Exhale, lower. Inhale, open. And now on your exhale, straighten that leg and plant that foot, just like we did previously. Okay, so aligning arch and knee, pressing through the outer edge of that right foot. But this time, we're going to come up to stand. Okay, so we're bringing those shoulders now over the hips. Okay, with your next inhale, reach your arms up. And on your exhale, your right hand is going to come to the outside of that right leg and we'll reach up and over. Inhale, come back through center. On your exhale, left hand is going to lower and we're reaching away from that right leg. Inhale, center. Exhale, right hand to right leg. Inhale, center. Exhale, left hand and right hand away. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And now with your next inhale, let's come back through center. Lower those hands in front of you. You're back in that table pose. Right leg rises. Inhale. And then send it behind you. Bend that knee. And knee onto the mat. Table pose. Find a cow and a cat here. Inhale. And exhale. And let's find two more. And once you've found that neutral spine, we'll go to the left side. So again, to find that movement in the left hip, knee stays bent. Open that left knee on the inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale, open. Exhale, lower. Inhale, open. This time, exhale to straighten the leg. And then lower that left foot onto the mat. Finding your alignment with your legs, and then as you're ready, rising up, coming to stand on that knee and on that foot. Inhale, your arms lift. Exhale, now your left hand towards that left leg, and we're opening the right side of the body. Inhale, center. Now right hand lowers and we're opening the left side of the body. And again, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, One more time each side. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And coming back up, inhale. And then lowering your hands in front of you. Inhale, that left leg rises, use that outer hip. Exhale, send it back. And table pose. Nice. So from here, take a breath in. And then on your exhale, really round your spine. And lower those sit bones towards your heels. Child's pose. And any version of child's pose. You could use your pillow too for extra support behind your knees, under your sit bones, maybe under your head or your chest. And let's find 5 breaths to release any of the previous poses, let go of whatever happened before right now. Maybe open mouth exhales can help with that release. And take another breath in. And breath out. And then with your next inhale, let's lift that chest and let's make our way into a seat with those legs in front of us. So we work those outer hips quite a bit. So we're going to try and stretch them out a bit now, so countering that work. So let's start with a figure 4, a seated figure 4, and I think we did this last week. Okay, so we're going to keep the left knee bent, the foot planted, and we're going to cross that right ankle over that left thigh. And you could do this at any place. So you could work towards straightening that left leg, depending on how tight the hip and that right knee are. So the more you draw that left thigh in, the more mobility, flexibility in that right hip will be necessary, the more stretch. So take it to the place that works for you. Remember to keep your right foot flexed, so toes are drawing towards your shin. The ankle is just off your thigh. And then you're sending your right knee away, so it's going forward. Your hands can be supporting you here, so you could plant them behind you and really lift your spine, so push the floor away. Try to keep your shoulders down, space in your neck. Find that smooth breath. And just find the position that will give enough sensation right now in that right hip. And you can do this seated on a chair too. Remember your sit bones on the chair, that left foot planted on the floor, and you're just crossing your ankle just over your thigh. And when you're sitting in a chair, it's more difficult to bring the thigh in towards you. So what you can do is bring the chest towards the thigh. And about 3 to 5 more breaths just here. Imagine that knee again moving away from you. Soften jaw, soften eyes. Take another breath in. And breath out. And then from here, see if you can release without using your hands. And we're going to go to the other side, and if you want extra challenge, see if you can get into the other side without using your hands. So your left knee draws in, ankle crosses over the thigh. You can find your place here. Okay, so on this side, you might need to lengthen your right leg out a bit more. Maybe the left hip is a little tighter. So adapt to that. If you have your hands behind you and your wrists are getting a little tired, maybe your fingers were pointing towards you, you can switch it. Fingers point away from you, or even in a kind of a 45-degree angle, so towards the corners of your mat. And then just find that right place for you. And it could be a different place than last time. So make sure that you're taking that into account. It doesn't have to be the same every time, would be pretty boring. And tune into that softness in jaw, eyes. Let's find that breath. In and out through the nose, hear the sound of your own breath. And one more breath in. And breath out. And then as you are ready, and again, maybe without using your hands, but with control, you're drawing that knee in, and then you're uncrossing that left foot and planting it. And then let's bring those feet a little wider, and this time let's bring the hands in front of us and between those legs. Now fingers walking away from us, almost like clawing your mat. Sit bones are planted, knees are reaching back behind you. And find space between your shoulder blades, back of your neck. Maybe you can feel some space created between the ribs, maybe in that lower back. Take another breath in and breath out. And then as you inhale, walk those fingers back towards you. Bring those feet hip width, and we'll lower down with control. Bring those arms in front of you. Breathe in. Exhale, coming halfway down. Take another breath in, expand and open your chest. And then on your exhale, lower all the way down onto the mat. And once you arrive down, you could bring those knees in and rock from side to side. Back body gets a massage here. And just with the shift of your weight and the floor underneath you, you can give that back body a nice massage. And let's bring those legs back through center, and let's plant those feet. Bring those arms down by your side, knees are bent. Some gentle bridge poses. Inhale, lift your hips, so don't overdo it here. More just going towards neutral. Exhale and lowering. And inhale and lift. So neutral would be more or less a diagonal line from your knees to your shoulder blades or to your shoulders. And then again, inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. And one more time, inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. And we'll bring that right knee in. And you could lengthen your left leg out. You could stay here, or you could go for a half happy baby. Knee towards that right armpit and maybe foot lifting towards the ceiling. So the knee is bent and we're kind of drawing that knee down towards the floor next to that right armpit. And then at the same time, press that lower back into the mat. Take a breath in and a breath out. And then let's switch. Bring that left knee in, right leg out. And then drawing that left knee towards that left armpit, maybe that half happy baby. And remember not to look for the foot if the shoulder blade lifts off the mat. Okay, so you want to just walk your hand up the leg just to that point where you can still keep your shoulder blade planted. So we're trying to neutralize that back body here. Opening the hips, opening that lower back. Let's take another breath in and breath out. And then release. And you might bring those knees in, do anything that might feel right at this moment. So it might be some gentle movement, just a little rocking from side to side. Anything that your body wants to move into for a few breaths. And what would help the body get as comfortable as possible for some stillness at the end of practice. So sometimes also another option is tensing the whole body and relaxing it. So that's an exercise that sometimes feels right before Shavasana. So using your inhale to tense everything in the body, even the face and the jaw, the shoulders. And then exhaling to release all that tension. And doing that a few times. And with each exhale, and you release that tension, you really allow the body to just soften completely towards the mat. And then once you are ready, we'll all meet in Shavasana. Just finding as much softness as possible. And then we'll allow our voluntary nervous system to rest for now. All the processes that happen involuntarily, breathing, heartbeat, etc., keep going. But all those processes that require our intention right now can rest. You can get a little break. So allowing the body just to feel heavy towards the mat. And as much as we practice doing, let's practice some not doing for just a few moments. be very gentle, awakening that body. Just taking care of the breath and some gentle movement in your fingers and your toes, in your ankles and wrists. Taking your time maybe to stretch those arms overhead. And then as you're ready, rolling onto one side. Knees towards the chest, arms supporting the head. And again, as you find those to-do lists coming in, just again, bring yourself back, take a breath in, a breath out. And then slowly make your way up to find a comfortable seat, meeting with hands at heart. And taking a moment to acknowledge the practice, to acknowledge ourselves for practicing, to acknowledge those who practice with us, to acknowledge those who make it possible. And we'll end with a word that means that the light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. Namaste.
Namaste.